Hi, and welcome back to the Azure Database for MySQL monthly webinar series. I'm Shreya Raital, and co-hosting this series with me is Avnish Rastogi.
Hello everyone, welcome back.
It's been a busy and eventful week so far. Yesterday was Azure Open Source Day. Hope you had the chance to join the digital event, hear the updates and announcements, and see some of the latest open source technology in action. If not, don't worry about it. You can check out the summary blog at aka.ms, Azure Open Source Day blog. Azure Database for MySQL also announced some new integrations yesterday. We will be discussing these later today, but you can also check them out at aka.ms aosd-mysql. And today is International Women's Day. So, wishing you all a very happy Women's Day, and I hope you all get the chance to celebrate the women in your life sometime today. Now, coming back to today's webinar, the last 3 months we covered some basics about Azure Database for MySQL, flexible server in terms of migration strategies, replication feature functionality, the business critical SKU, and we also did some demos for the new cool, exciting features that we released, like autoscale IOPS, like cross-region read replica, and so on. But in case any of you missed this, you can go to our YouTube channel and check out the recordings. Our handle is at Azure DB MySQL. And for today's webinar, what do we have planned, Avnish?
Well, Sharia, we have two very important topics today, and I'm really excited that we will have PM who has been helping us since the beginning of this webinar in the back answering all the chat questions. So he will be on the session to talk about networking and security. And as you know, security is on top of everyone's mind. So he will cover all the topics, all the features which customers can use to secure MySQL database. So, and then we will cover about a couple of announcements we made recently. And as usual, we will talk about the upcoming new features.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Avnish. But folks, before we get started, a few ground rules, just like last time. Let's try to keep this as interactive as possible. So let's do a quick round of introductions from all of you, and let us know a little bit about yourself. Basically, just let us know where you're joining from, what you're looking forward to in this session, what you do, stuff like that. I already see a couple of messages flowing in. We are actually streaming on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Microsoft Developer Channel on Twitch. And I see hi Yahor, hi Masiesh. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Kenmita, and I see hi Deepthi. Uh, from Seattle. Thank you so much for joining in. And keep this coming, folks. Let us know a little bit about yourself. Let us know what you're excited about today, and just keep the conversation flowing. And while you do that, I do also want to point out that if you have any questions or feedback anytime during the session, use the same live chat window to put them across, and we will address them as we go through the session. Anybody else? Keep it coming, folks, on the chat window. Meanwhile, in the interest of time, let's get started. Avnish, over to you. Who are we inviting for the first
Yeah, no,
section?
I'm really excited to have Sudesh join the webinar and talk about networking and security. Sudesh, thank you very much and looking forward to hear from you. Why don't you take maybe a few seconds to introduce yourself and then we can
Sure,
start with
Abneesh.
the topics.
Sure, Abneesh. Thank you for giving this opportunity. And hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, based on the time zones you guys are all in. I would like to cover an important topic which is there in everybody's mind when data is on cloud, which is security and networks, right? And how do I make sure that my data is secure? Will be the questions in everyone's mind when you see that, okay, it is going out of your data center and it's landing on cloud. So in the interest of the time, let's move on and we'll have some interesting demos as well. So we will keep the time for that. Let's move on, Avnish.
Avnish, do you want to share your screen, and I'll.
Yeah,
Sure, I'll take over. So coming to the security side, right? As you know that the security is always there in the mind of everyone. And any product of Azure, make sure that the industry-leading privacy, data residency, and compliance is taken into consideration
Just a
when
second,
we.
Sudesh. We were able to see your slide. Yeah, everything's good. Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you
Sorry.
maybe start a slideshow and we can get started?
No worries. While the time Avnish gets the PPT ready, right? I can talk on a little bit on the security and the data part of it as well, right? So basically, there are a lot of certification like HIPAA certification, ISO certification, CSS certifications, which Azure Database for MySQL is signed on. This actually gives people a clear idea about what they actually need to do with respect to the security compliance check, which each one of us are looking for. And if you look into the security side, right? So basically, when we talk about security, one thing which comes to our mind is the network security, right? Yeah, I think now I can see the slide as well. So can we go to the next slide because we have just on that. Right. So coming to this particular slide, which talks about how your Azure database for MySQL, the data in the Azure database for MySQL is secured. So we are just dividing that into 4 pillars. First part is the network security. The second is the data protection. The third is the authentication access management, and the fourth but not least is the threat prevention and detection. Coming to these network security, we have private access, private link also in MySQL, which is currently in preview, which private preview. If you're interested, we are more than happy to enroll you and give you the early access to that particular feature, right? And also we have public access where we restrict using firewall rules. Coming to data protection, when we talk about data protection, it is more on the data in motion and data at rest, which is covered in detail later. Coming to authentication, MySQL, everybody knows by default people use MySQL native authentication, but we also have an integration with our Azure Active Directory authentication, which makes the user management much easier. The threat protection, that's a part where we're currently working on, and it will be coming soon to you, where you will have the integration with Azure Defender, which can help you with vulnerability assessment, threat protection, checking for brute force attack, etc. Let's move on. Coming now to the networking and security side. The networking, the first 2 level of access is provided from us. When we talk about it, one is a private and the other is a private link. Now, in these 2 situations, the traffic, whatever is flowing through these networks, are going to be only in the private space. It will never be on a public. The data doesn't flow through any public network, right? So the private access is a closed down where you have a VNET to which your server is integrated and you control the access using the network security group. Coming to the public access, it is using the firewall rules, that the IP rules, right? We say that only these IPs are allowed, the other IPs are not allowed, right? So that's what the firewall. Coming to the private link for MySQL, which is currently in private preview, as I informed, this will actually help to make sure that your public access servers can still be converted to a private access server. And at the same time, you can enjoy private and public, or you can specify them to say that only private is available. So these are the different levels of network isolations we provide. Can we move on? So I'll take you through the public link demo, which is of interest to us, and we'll look up. We'll at the same time we will look into the details about the options which is available to us as well. Anish, can you? Yeah. So if you can see this, I'm just trying to create a server now, right? And while creating the server, I'm going to add a private link to it, right? So let's look at the options. So I'm just giving the server name and other details which is required to create a server. The selection of the tier, then you can see that the authentication method. So I'm here using MySQL authentication and giving username and password. Now you can see this both options, public access and private access. Public access will have private endpoint, and private access will be purely private with no public access allowed. And it's a create time experience. You cannot change it later. In private access, you can see it will ask you to specify the VNet and the subnet. The subnet needs to be delegated. you can, once you add the delegated subnet, you can also specify the private DNS zone. You can either create, or you can actually go ahead and select the existing private DNS zone as well. Once this is selected, you will be able to create it. Coming to public access, you can see the firewall rules available, right? And also you can see that allow public access from Azure service, right? That is the trusted providers or trusted services will be able to can be allowed using that access. Now, if for creating a private endpoint, I click on add private endpoint, give the details here, name, which subnet, which virtual network I need this to be placed. This doesn't require the subnet to be delegated. And then similarly, the case with the DNS integration zone, and I can click on next, next, and then finally review and then create the server. So this is the create time experience of private link. Now, if you go to the resource, under the networking pane, you will be able to see the private endpoint. Now, if you look at, you can see that it's public access with private endpoint, the way we created it. And you can see the private access integration is disabled or not highlighted because you cannot change it after the creation. Firewall rules can be specified, but you can give the start IP and IP specified. Now, going to the private link. Now, if I go to the network interface connected to the private link, you can see the IP address is in the subnet which I've created 10.0.0.
Now, this is the experience. How do you create it from the private link from the NRP portal, the networking portal object, where you give the name, you select the region, and when you go next, it will ask you to create a private link from a resource. So we basically, you have to select the flexible server as a resource type, and then it will display you the resources which you can select it. And when I go forward, it gives me an option to select the DNS integration as well. And post that, I can just click on next and then review and then create the private endpoint. So these are two ways where you can create. One is using the create time experience or from the portal, or you can create it even from the private endpoint from portal. So once you go back to the resource, which is a private, the VNET here. If I go to that the private link object 2, you can see now it is created on a different VNet and subnet with 10.7.0.7. So these are the two different experiences through which you can create a private link. You can also go to the server where we have created the private link, and from the networking pane, you can still see the two different private link created, and you can see that both the subnets are different. And if you can Avnish, can you go ahead? Yeah. Now coming, that's related to how the private link experience would be. This is currently in private preview and we'll be going ahead. Now, if we talk about the security at motion, right, that is encryption at rest and encryption in motion. For motion, we use SSL. Any data which is being transferred over the network is protected using the SSL TLS 1.2, which is the default enforced protocol. We do support 1.3 as well, and the support for TLS is based upon how the MySQL Community Edition means deprecates or stops supporting the older TLS version. So we follow that whatever the MySQL Community versions follows. Coming to the data at rest, every storage is protected, and you can see the TD encryption is there. Beyond the system level encryption or the system encryption, we also have bring your own key to work, wherein You bring your key, you will have to take care of the key management. You put the key in Azure Key Vault, and you double encrypt your your storage at rest to make sure that your data is safe. So for the requirements for the BYOK is that you should have a key vault and a user managed interface. We will soon get into the demo of that. While doing that, I'll probably explain you more detail on how do we go ahead and create it. Can we move to the demo, Anish? Yeah, so in this, you can see this object. This is the user managed identity, and the user managed identity has to be given permission in the key vault. If you go to the keys, if you want to create a key, you can click on generate bar import, and then you can just go ahead and say click generate and generate the key. We have to give permissions for that UMI, which is get, list, wrap, and wrap key and unwrap key. Now we to the Azure Key Vault, this particular UMI, the user managed entity, is given the permissions so that it is able to read that key. This is the basic requirement which we need. Post which we'll have to go to the server, and in the server, if you come down the pane, you will see the security section where you'll have data encryption. Here you need to go ahead and add the managed identity followed by the key, whichever you have created and given permission for the user managed entity which you have specified before. Now, once you select, and then you will just have to click on save. This is what you just need to do to bring your own keys to work. And once it is there, it is encrypted using your key, as well as the system managed key, which will be a double level encryption which happens. Can we move on, Amnish? Coming to the authentication and user management. So we have MySQL native authentication and Azure-based authentication as well. So the Azure authentication is supported using the token-based authentication. There are ease of user management which you can happen with Azure AD authentication. Added to it, the normal community, how it supports the MySQL native authentication is also available. We also have the passport plugins, validate password and caching SHA-2 password plugins, which is currently in private preview. If you would like to use those plugins, please contact us, and we'll be more than happy to enroll you to that private preview and give you access to these plugins. Right. Coming to the Active Directory authentication, as you could easily see from this slide, there are a lot of advantages of ease of management, how you can use password policies to make sure that the passwords are not weak, and it is the passwords can be managed with high security or to meet your compliance requirement. Right, and the customers can also manage databases permissions using the groups, right, Azure AD groups, so you don't have to go it individually. Right, and of course, being AAD, it's a token-based authentication for applications which they can use to make sure that it is highly secured. It gets the security of the Azure AD authentication, and that integration brings in ease of management with MySQL. So the MySQL granular permissions can also be granted to these users, similarly making it ease for the user management. Can we go ahead? Coming to the demo of AAD authentication. So here also we require the user managed identity. You can see how I'm just creating a user managed identity here. You have to just specify the name of the identity, click on review and create, and you will be able to see that the ID is connected. Now, if you go back to the resource, you can see that we have three options there: MySQL authentication, Azure only, and then you have both together, right? So you can at the time of create also, and also here you can choose which you need. You will have to just add the user manager identity which we created, which should have permissions and active directory, and then you will have to select the group or the name which you wanted to add as an AAD admin. Now, if you just select the user and click select to it, so this, you can see that Nish is already added as an admin. The save. This will make sure that your Azure AD authentication is completed. So these are very simple steps, but we'll have to just follow the requirements which is required. So this way you get an option to have the Azure AD authentication configured as well. So that's it from my side. I will hand it over back to Shreya and Avnish to take it up further.
Thank you, Sudesh. Shari, are there any questions from the chat?
Not any right now, Sudesh. There was one question on in-place upgrade. I think thanks, Deepthi, for getting that answer. But otherwise, we're all good. Folks, Sudesh will be on the chat window for a couple of more minutes. So if you have any questions on anything networking and security, please keep it coming. Thanks again, Sudesh. But let's move on to the next section, Avnish. Then, would you share some more details and demos on the 2 updates that went out yesterday, and also probably talk about what's coming out soon?
Yeah, so yesterday we announced Power Apps connector for MySQL Flexible Server. It's in public preview, and we plan to GA sometime in next quarter. So it's fairly straightforward. We have multiple options to build the application using Power Apps. And as you would know that Power Apps is a low code, no code tool which business community or analyst can use to build the applications. And here we will use Dataverse to build the application. So first you have to specify the connection you want to use to connect to the database. So you select new connections, and here you have the connector for MySQL database. You specify the authentication information. So in this case, we are using basic authentication. So after providing all the information, you click on create. And here you can see a list of tables available in this database. So this is the information displayed in the canvas. As you can see, you have all the information available in the canvas. And if you want to fine tune it, you can select on the, and then you can basically specify the different formatting information. And you can use Power Apps not only to display information, but also to edit the information. So as we are doing the formatting of the display,
So these are the detailed screens. Basically, these 3 screens are created for you on behalf of the Dataverse app itself. And this was the edit screen that Avnish was mentioning. Go ahead.
yeah. So you can here we're gonna update the contact first name.
It's as simple as this, folks. You just few clicks, and we were able to actually run a full-fledged app which will actually save the data once you edit the name. So yeah, it's a cool integration, and hope you all try this out and let us know your feedback. But thanks again, Avnish.
Yeah. So next we will talk about the Power BI integration using Azure portal. So it's been GA'd now, and Power BI is a very popular visualization tool which a lot of organizations are using now. And with this GA, it's so demo is very simple. We have this Power BI demo. So here on the left panel, we have this Power Platform, Power BI. You click on the Power BI. and you specify the database you want to use for the reporting analytics. So in this case, we select this contacts DB, and it will download this PBI DS on your desktop. And specify the credentials you want to use for the connection. So Windows authentication is not supported yet. So we'll use the database authentication. You specify the username, password, and once you are connected, then you can see the list of tables available in this database. So we have two tables, contacts and customer information. So we will use the customer table. And here we will try to see, let's say, how many customers we have in this database. So we select the customer table, and we select the, there is an option to select the summation information. So you click on that one. And as you can see, we have 122,000 customers in this database. And we can also see the segmentation by the country. So we select the country, and then you can see quickly that how many customers we have per in each country. So it's very easy to use, pretty much drag and drop. And further, if you want to see how many sales folks we have um, supporting in this case, so once you click on the sales info column, you can see that we have total 16 sales folks supporting 120,000 customer information. So it's very easy to use, drag and drop pretty much, but you can build complex dashboards and as well.
So,
So
folks, if you want more information on it, just do go check out our blog, AOSD-MySQL, which has detailed demo videos. It's got tutorials as well. Just wanted to bring that out. Go ahead, Avnish.
yeah, no, thank you, Sharia. So we some of the features we are going to discuss now. We talked about this last time as well, and so this briefly touched on the private link. We did the demo as well. It's in private preview right now, and we plan to have the public preview in coming quarter. So if you guys have any interest in enrolling in your customers in the private link, definitely let us know. Next, we also discussed the data and applications. It's in private preview, and we plan to GA later this month, sometime in next couple of months. Data and application you can use for different use cases as we discussed last time. You can use data and application to for the near zero downtime migration from on-premise or from the other cloud providers. You can also use it for analytics if you want to keep your source application in sync with your Azure database instance. You can set up that application. And finally, for the DR, whether it's on-premise as DR or within Azure, different MySQL instances if you want to use for DR. Other one which is cross-region read replica in paired regions. So as you would know that in Azure, we have designated paired regions. So this feature is available in private preview and would be GA'd sometime later this month. In next couple of weeks, it will be GA'd. So with this, you would be able to create read replica in the paired regions. And read replica in the same region is already available. And we plan to have non-paired regions read replica coming soon as well. And finally, on the auto-scale IOPS, it's in public preview. As we discussed last time, with auto-scale IOPS, you don't have to worry about managing the IOPS. Once you select this option, we will manage the IOPS for your application. And based on the demand, we will scale up or scale down IOPS automatically. And we plan to GA this in coming quarter. It's still available in public preview. And as I mentioned, this universal or non-paired read replica, we plan to have the private preview and subsequent GA in coming quarter in Q2. So these are some of the upcoming features. If you have any questions, let us know. Or if you want to enroll in any of the features which are available in private link in the private preview, please let us know as well. Shreya, back to you.
Thanks so much, Avnish. Team, that's all we had for today. A short webinar this time. To learn more, you can navigate to aka.ms MySQL resources, which is our one-stop shop for all resources. And if you have any further questions, feel free to reach us in our email ID mentioned here. And also stay tuned for any updates and announcements by following us on social media and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Our handle on YouTube as well as Twitter is at AzureDB MySQL. But that's all for today. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We'd love to hear your feedback on the session. So here's a link to a feedback form. And most importantly, if you have any requests or suggestions for what you want us to cover in the upcoming episodes, do share us here. Or if you want to feature in our upcoming sessions, that please do let us know by filling out this form as well. We did have some suggestions flowing in last time as well. Thank you to all those who shared these details. We've noted them down and we'll make sure to include them in our upcoming webinars. So stay tuned, everybody. See you all in our next session next month on 12th April at 7:30 a.m. Pacific time. Thank you.
Thank you all.